FSD is quickly approaching this right lane, right behind this pickup truck full of cargo, and now it's making another lane change. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Light is turning yellow, but FSD didn't hesitate at all, going right through. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and edit this trip, remove this first stop, click done. I'm very vigilant now after that one incident. Let's see what happens here. We're in a residential neighborhood. So we're entering a school zone here on a Saturday. So I'm going to disengage that for sure. Why are we slowing down? We have a train track right up ahead. Crossing deer sign definitely is something I have never encountered yet with FSD. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and enable FSD from here. And again, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Barry. I do Tesla full self-driving or FSD style videos. I'm running version 13.2.2 and I'm in the standard profile for FSD. So we'll see how today's route goes. I really appreciate everybody's support and comments. I'm getting a ton of feedback from you guys and trying to make the videos better. So thank you for all of the suggestions. I do try and get to each and every comment, and if I'm able to, I also try and respond. I'm getting a ton of feedback, so thank you all for that. We'll be making a left turn at this light right up ahead here. We're showing about 34 degrees Fahrenheit or so, so quite a chilly day, but not as bad as it was over the previous couple of weeks. All right, so FSD is trying to creep up. It's thinking about it. Ultimately, it did not go through. So it was waiting for that car to pass, as you saw, and then the light was turning yellow, but the road was clear, so FSD was hesitating. Ultimately, I think it made the right choice there because, I mean, it was pretty much yellow. We were not even in the middle of the road, kind of waiting to go. So I think it made the right choice there. We've got a total of 4 stops programmed into today's route. So I will be updating the trip as we get closer to the first stop, which is just about 7 miles or so, and we'll be making a roundabout turn in about 1.4 miles. So it is Saturday afternoon around noon time, so we should see low to moderate traffic, probably nothing too crazy, but we'll stick to the suburban area here and see how FSD performs. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. We are still in the middle of winter, so it is quite cold and gray as you could see, but next couple weeks we should start to warm up, hopefully, after we get past another cold spell. I think we're going to be getting some snow. So, you know, we're almost to spring, so that's always exciting. I did go through a car wash yesterday, so all of the cameras on board should be clean and have full visibility. Okay, this is interesting. So FSD is quickly approaching this right lane, recognized that it was a right turning lane only, and then quickly adjusted itself. You could see, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but we're kind of on an angle because it had to accommodate and fix its mistake, but it did. That was awesome. I was ready to intervene if I had to because it looked like it was flying full force through, but ultimately corrected its mistake and got into the appropriate lane because that one is a right turning lane only, but GPS has us going straight. So very good correction there. That's awesome to see. I always love when Tesla FSD corrects its own mistakes safely and efficiently. I love to see that. Approaching this roundabout nice and cautiously. We have a vehicle towards the left that's exiting the roundabout, so we have a clear road, and we're making the first exit very nicely there. Not sure if I've even had to ever disengage on a roundabout before. I don't ever recall having an issue in version 13. Version 12 was definitely a little bit hesitant with roundabouts, but with version 13, I think I've had close to 100% success rates through and around roundabouts. So that's great to see. We're maintaining the standard profile. We're reaching 38 max in a 25 mile per hour zone right now. So it's reading this area as 25 miles per hour, though I'm not sure if that's entirely true. I do see a new speed limit sign up ahead that's registering 45. So we'll see that update here in just a second once it scans that. So there we go. Just read that and then update it to 45. And we should see our speed increase because the vehicle behind me is pretty much just tailing me because I think we were going pretty slow for this area. That is one sign that FSD software can read a speed limit, which is extremely crucial, but believe that is the only sign that it can read, so it cannot yet read no turn on red signs, things like that. That vehicle made an interesting turn out of that plaza. Quite a wide turn there, but he's on our left side, so we should be okay going forward here. Light is turning yellow, but FSD didn't hesitate at all, going right through. That's another key in version 13 is the confidence level through intersections, especially when the light's turning yellow, is extremely smooth. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, definitely consider hitting the subscribe button. I'm going to be releasing a lot of FSD style videos just like this one as I get more and more updates to my vehicle. I'm in a Model 3 2024 standard range, and so we just passed 1,600 subscribers. So I really appreciate everyone's support, and it's been really awesome and fun to make these videos and then engage with you guys in the comments. So if you haven't yet subscribed, definitely consider hitting the subscribe button. It definitely helps out me and the channel. So it looks like FSD is trying to make a lane change here. I'm not sure why, because the map has us turning in 2.5 miles, so we have a ton of room to go. So I don't know why it's trying to change lanes here, but we're right behind this pickup truck full of cargo, and now it's making another lane change. I'm not sure why it's doing that. We have, like I said, 2.5 miles until we have to make any turns, so I don't know why I decided to turn left and then back out to the right lane. That was a little weird. I have my offset settings set to plus 15% of the speed limit. So I changed that from the default 40% down to 15%. Talked about that in some of my previous videos. For me, 15% has been very reliable and stable. So I've just kept it at 15% over the speed limit. All that means is it's going to assume 15% over the speed limit zone in which you're in. So for me, that number seems to work pretty well. Now we're just scanning into a 55 speed limit zone. So we're going from 45 to 55, and we'll see FSD pick up speed and then assume the rest of the offset that I'm allowing it to take, which is probably going to be closer to 62% if my math is right, somewhere around there. It's always about 5 to 7 miles per hour over. We have this oncoming vehicle, and it slowed down for that very nicely. So it's really cool to see those decisions take place. There was a car in the left turning lane ahead of us that blocked visibility, so it waited for that car to pass, and then it saw an oncoming vehicle, slowed down, let it pass, and then move forward. It's very, very human-like characteristics, and overall that's a pretty safe decision. You can safely creep up past the line if you have the green light, but obviously you want to make sure you have clear visibility before you make that turn. So it's very human-like characteristics and styles, which is sometimes good, sometimes really not good, depending on the situation and what the human is doing, because these models are trained on human behaviors. So sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. Let me know what you think in the comments down below on how Tesla FSD is training their models now, as opposed to just static code and software. A lot of these are clips from previous drivers and the decisions that they're making. So entering this roundabout here, going right through it, not a problem at all. Still turning its blinker on at the roundabout. I don't know why it does that. I don't think many people do that. I know I don't. When I'm going through a roundabout, I very rarely signal which exit I'm taking. The area I'm in has a 2-lane roundabout area, so if you're in one of the lanes, if you're in the right lane in the roundabout, you can go straight or right safely without putting on your signal. So maybe there are other parts of the world that do require that. All right, so we're approaching our very first stop here, waiting for these vehicles to pass, making a left into this neighborhood. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and edit this trip, remove this first stop, click done, and it's going to reroute us. I'm very vigilant now after that one incident with rerouting and modifying the trip. So let's see what happens here. We're in a residential neighborhood, and it did successfully reroute us without hesitation. So it didn't jerk and it didn't freak out, which is good. Make that full screen for you guys again. And now we're on the way to our second stop. So we are exiting this residential area, nobody on our left. Very nicely done. Super smooth so far. I'm really enjoying this ride. Very smooth, very confident, no jerks, no hesitation. So we'll be making a 0 mile per hour stop. Once it hits 0, it's going to creep up. We have some vehicles approaching here on our left. Nothing on our right, so we should be good. Yep, perfect. So it went right through here. Very nice. So far, this is a very smooth trip. We've got is that a Model 3? Yep, an older Model 3 there on our left. Oh, another Cybertruck right there to our left. So that's 2 for today. That's awesome. We got a twofer. That's pretty cool to see. And then we got a Model 3 there. All right, so we're entering a 55 speed limit zone here. FSD is picking up speed very, very nicely. And you saw there back where we just were, it was a 2-lane road that merged into one, and FSD handles those situations very, very nicely as well. I am planning to take a longer road trip, which is something I've been talking about in some of my previous videos with Tesla FSD. I just got to figure out the right time to do that and figure out where I want to go. But something that's over, 3 to 4 hours, maybe the 5-hour mark one way with FSD, see how far I can get before disengaging. I think ultimately it would be a pretty low disengagement ratio if the majority of the road trip was highway systems. FSD is wonderful on highways. So I think if the road trip consists of mostly highway systems, then it would be a very pleasurable experience. But I do want to plan a trip like that. So if you have any ideas in the Ohio area, I know a lot of you guys are watching from Ohio, so let me know down in the comments below if there's a route that you think would be interesting to watch FSD perform in. Definitely leave a comment down below letting me know what you think in terms of a route for that type of idea. Slowing down for this curvy back road here. I must say this is a very relaxing ride so far. FSD hasn't stressed me out one bit yet. So far, so good. Really enjoyable ride. Making a left turn here at this light. We'll see if we can catch this green light or not. We have a bit of traffic that's approaching us that we'll have to wait. So FSD is moving past the line, which is nice again. No reason to wait at the line. You can creep up, and it's going right through. Really awesome. Really, really great decision. Very fluid. So far, this has been a very good ride. If anybody has any ideas on future Tesla FSD videos, leave a comment down below as well. I would love to hear what you guys think in terms of video ideas for FSD. It could be FSD related, it could be something Tesla related. Let me know what you think down below. Leave a comment, and maybe I will pick from one of the ideas that I read and make that into a video. So yeah, definitely leave your thoughts down below. All right, so it went from a 45 down to a 35. I have not had good experiences with FSD slowing down. You could see it's still a problem. Let's see how long it takes for FSD to slow down. We're going 10 miles per hour over, which is well over my offset. We shouldn't be going anywhere past 40, 42 maybe. But look at this, it's still moving pretty quick. I mean, we're dropping down 43 now. But again, that takes a while for FSD to register to go to the proper offset if we're going from a higher speed limit to a lower speed limit. I've observed that many, many times in different environments, different situations, and almost every time it continues at the speed in which the higher zone allocated for and fails to slow down to meet the new slower zone. Let me know if anybody has experienced that in their areas as well, but that is a repeat offender in terms of a flaw that I've noticed with FSD. Now that we're going in a 35 and we slowed down, FSD is maintaining the correct speed, but now we're going from a 35 down to a 25. So it just flipped on the screen from 35 down to 25. Let's see how long it takes FSD to slow down. So we're going 35, 34, slowing down decently, but again, no, we're stuck on 34, so it's really not doing too much. 33. With the offset, we should be going about 30, 32 max. So it slowed down, but it really takes its good old time to slow down. So that was kind of a good test. We went from 45 down to 35, 35 down to 25. And in both scenarios, FSD really took its time to meet the new speed limit. So that could be a good road to keep in mind for future updates to see if they fix that or not. So we're approaching our second stop here. I'm going to go ahead and edit the trip and remove the second stop. Click done. And then it should reroute us here to our third stop, which it just did. There you go. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and make this full screen again. Looks like the third stop has us going straight for half a mile, and then we'll be making a left turn up ahead here. So again, this ride has been very, very enjoyable. No hesitation from FSD that I've observed. Outside of the speed issue that I had just discussed, really no flaw whatsoever. This is the beauty of FSD. I mean, when you can sit behind the wheel and not have to intervene or stress about what the vehicle is doing, that is a beautiful thing. That is a really interesting, cool thing, especially just being a tech geek like myself. I really like the technology that goes into these types of things. So super cool to see the experience improve so much and so quickly. All right, so we're entering a school zone here on a Saturday. So I'm going to disengage that for sure because I don't think that FSD can understand school zones yet. And even if it can, based on its prior behavior of adjusting to new speed limits, it probably wouldn't do a good job. So I don't know why this zone is on a Saturday. Maybe there's an event going on, but that is something I definitely do not want to risk a ticket for. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up speed and then re-engage FSD from there. As far as I know, why are we slowing down? Why did we just slow down like that? That was weird. I have no idea what that was about. Just like randomly slowed down and now we're accelerating again. That was pretty bizarre. I'm glad that nobody was directly behind us. No idea what happened there, but we're entering a 35 mile per hour zone now, going from a 25. I'd be interested to know why it slowed down like that. We're entering this roundabout here. We'll be making the full circle here and then getting off that final exit there. So we'll pass this exit here on the right. There you go with the roundabout blinker again. And the speed limit here in this area is 45. So we have a train track right up ahead. Should be slowing down for that very nicely, and it does. Yep, perfect. Very, very nice. It accelerated pretty quick there off the roundabout, noticed the train track, and then went down to about, I think we ultimately passed the train track going 23, 24, which is an acceptable speed. So I love FSD for train tracks, for slowing down. It's been very good in terms of slowing down for train tracks. Speed bumps is another advantage. This crossing deer sign definitely is something I have never encountered yet with FSD. I mentioned it in one of my previous videos, and some of you guys had said that you haven't experienced deer, but you've experienced flock of geese or ducks or birds on the road, and FSD does a pretty good job with that from what you guys had told me. So definitely leave a comment down below letting me know if you had any wildlife situations with FSD. I'm really interested in that because I don't know what FSD would do. I just don't know what it would do. I don't know if it's documented enough or if there's been enough situations or scenarios even that people have ran into. So I'm always really interested if you have a story or if you know someone or if you've experienced it yourself with Tesla FSD and wildlife. Definitely leave a comment down below. Pretty windy road here, but it's slowing down. So this is awesome. I mean, this is really great. Again, pretty low traffic, so you can argue there's not many dynamics in the road in this area right now, but it's still wonderful to see how well FSD is performing in these back roads. All right, so we're approaching this stop sign here. We'll have a unprotected left turn, and it's a rather sharp turn. So what I'll do is I'm going to capture this with my POV style angle here. So it's a rather sharp turn here on the left, and we are making a left. All right. So that was pretty nice. I was ready to intervene if I had to. That car was flying down very fast. That was pretty good. I think FSD handled that very nicely. That turn in and of itself is a pretty dangerous turn because, I mean, I think you're allocated 45 here. Most drivers are going 60 in this road, and that is a pretty severe blind spot there. You only have, I'd say you probably only have maybe 200, 300 feet of visibility before that oncoming vehicle is noticeable for you from that stop. So most of the time, those drivers probably are slowing down as vehicles are exiting that stop sign, just like we did. But I mean, FSD did really, really well. Probably it did exactly the same thing that I would do. So that was excellent. All right, so we'll be making this right turn here into High Banks Metro Park. It does look like the gate is open, so we'll go through that. I think FSD should be going forward here because there's no objection. There you go. Perfect. So we're going right through, and then we're entering this park area in a 25-mile-per-hour zone. And I think this is a one-lane traffic here. Yeah, it is. So it is a one-lane flow of traffic. For a second there, I wasn't sure if it was two lanes and FSD was just hogging the middle because that was quite a wide lane there, but ultimately it is a one lane. 25, we're going about 30, which is very, very nice. And we'll see where it ultimately decides to drop us off because we have some people here actually. Let's see what happens here. FSD is slowing down very nicely for them to cross over. And we didn't approach a zero stop because we didn't need to. We didn't have a stop sign. We just had a merge for pedestrians sign, which is exactly what FSD did. Okay, so I'm not sure why it's going to stop here in the middle of the road. And I certainly don't want it going in the grass. But yeah, this is not the most ideal spot to stop. So I'm just going to go ahead and give it some accelerator there to move it along its way. I'm going to edit the trip instead, actually, and just remove this stop. Click done. And then hopefully it routes us to our next destination. Just thinking about it. All right, so it just rerouted on the map. We're going super slow. It's picking up speed now, though, so that's good. All right, so we're picking up speed. We should be moving forward here and straight back to what I imagine is the first available turn that the map system is giving FSD. I think what most humans would do is they would probably pull off into one of these side lots here and then make a U-turn somewhere in one of these side roads and then back out. But FSD is doing the very proper thing of going straight to find the first available path to make a U-turn. And it is quite the longer route to do so, right? As opposed to just turning into one of these side roads here as a human would do. I know I would do that at this point if I had to get out of this park. I probably wouldn't go all the way down to make a U-turn. So, interesting to see the decision there. Let me go ahead and make that full screen. Okay, so it's having us go straight and around to the very outer bank of this park. So I'm going to disengage here. I just don't want to go all the way down there. And it looks like it even kind of, the map system stops. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it back on course to go the opposing way in which we just came in. All right, so we're going 31 in the 25, so we have the 31 max according to our offset. I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit more power. I'll go up to about 33. And again, you can do that dynamically. I know I had a few questions from some of my viewers on how to adjust the speed of FSD in the fly. You can simply do that by using the right scroll wheel up or down, depending on if you want to increase or decrease your speed on the fly. So that's a really handy way to adjust how fast or slow you want to go based on the environment you're in. So we're approaching the exit to this same park that we were in. It is the exact same exit and entrance that we came in from. We'll be getting out of as well. And we're making a right turn here at this light behind this Toyota minivan. Okay, the minivan is now moving forward. It is our turn to make a right on red. All right, we have an opening here on the right side, and FSD is aggressively moving forward. Very nicely done there. It got the 0 mile per hour stop at that red light and then creeped forward and very aggressively went and made that right turn there. Very nice. I have to say, I think this was the most peaceful and relaxing FSD drive that I've had in a while. It was smooth, consistent, confident, no jerks, no sudden movements, no interventions at all, except for the school zone situation, which is just not a possibility of FSD today. So that is one of the limits, but no safety disengagements, no critical disengagements. I must say this has been a wonderful drive with FSD. Very relaxing and quite awesome to see. This has been pretty great. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below on this drive. I really appreciate you guys tuning in to today's video. Thank you for all the support. And if you haven't already, consider hitting the subscribe button. It definitely helps me out and helps the channel grow. So please stay tuned for future videos just like this one as Tesla releases software updates to FSD. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you for all the feedback. I'll catch you guys in the next video.